Yeah! So I'm still trying to finish up this video on why SpaceX doesn't make money, it burns it. And I come across this lawsuit for negligence / wrongful death against Tesla, for which they want to depose Elon Musk. The defense of which is so preposterously stupid, it makes Elizabeth Holmes seem like a sane and grounded CEO. She's going to prison now for, among other things, putting people's lives in danger by, how would you describe it? Beta testing a premature product on humans in the vague hope that somehow magical promises of optimistic timeline vaporware will come true if you just fake it for long enough. Foreshadowing, Elon. Foreshadowing. It took 8 years to go from this.
Billionaire entrepreneur Elon Musk puts his money where his mouth is.
I am personally guaranteeing that value and standing behind that guarantee with all of my assets.
To Elon selling off in just 1 year $30 billion worth of Tesla stock. That's about 300 times the amount of money Mr. I swear I'll never take money out of the company ever put into it. But he had a purchase to make, which was going to be a much better investment than that Tesla stock. He was buying Twitter.
It's analogous to being teleported into a plane that's plunging to the ground with its engines on fire and the controls don't work.
Well, according to the company's founder's actions, still a better investment than Tesla stock. 7 years ago.
Relatively easy, and like a Model S and Model X at this point can drive autonomously with greater safety than a person. Right now.
Yeah, Tesla's getting sued for this. So about 2 years after this, the lawsuit alleges that the autopilot feature of the Tesla turned the vehicle left out of the designated lane and drove it straight into a concrete highway median, killing the guy. Some 7 years later, full self-driving requires people to have their hands on the wheel at all times and paying full attention to the road, as the full self-driving may do the worst thing at the wrong time. And do you want to know what the legal defense that the Musk's hardcore legal team have come up with? They're claiming that Musk can't remember saying this, and that therefore it might be a deep fake, and therefore Musk shouldn't be deposed for this. No, really, that's the legal defense, that this might be a deep fake. Musk's legal defense is basically...
I didn't do it.
It's got to be one of the most pathetic and easy to disprove lies ever. First, Musk is actually still listed as having been at the conference. There is an hour-long video of him at the conference, and the things he said in front of an entire audience of witnesses.
A man was found next to a murdered body. He had the knife in his hand. 13 witnesses had seen him stab the victim. And when the police arrived, he said, "I'm glad I killed the bastard."
In reality, of course, this is just an excuse to try and stop Musk from being deposed. Because, see, the thing is, if you lie when you're being deposed, you go to jail for perjury.
For syringes. Was that statement correct?
Reading it now, I don't think it is.
The judge, however, really wasn't buying it, tentatively ordering a limited 3-hour deposition where Musk could be asked whether he actually made the statements on the recording, and called Tesla's arguments deeply troubling. Their position is that because Musk is famous and might be the target of deepfakes, his public statements are immune, adding that such arguments would allow Musk and other famous people to avoid taking ownership of what they did actually say and do. Me, I would have had a little more fun with it than that. You know, like, yeah, sure, Elon, maybe this is a deepfake, and maybe they also invented a time machine to go back and upload it about 7 years ago. And boy, did they go to town, creating an hour-long deepfake.
Yeah, so I think the I think it's to essentially, I think one of the solutions that seems maybe the best one.
Hell, it's not like 8 or so years ago Musk was saying this at a conference with NVIDIA.
Autonomy is about what level of reliability and safety do you want? But I really think like it's. I mean, I almost, this may sound a little complacent, but I almost view it as like a solved problem. Like we know exactly what to do, and we'll be there in a few years.
And in 2016, when he was claiming right now it could drive more safely than a human, they also released a video, which now Tesla ex-employees are claiming was completely staged. And yeah, when you look at the end of it, it looks so fake. I mean, let's just imagine that you've parked here, and you actually want to get to Tesla headquarters over here. So the obvious route would be just walking straight across. Except that's not what the guy in the Tesla video does. For some reason, he starts walking away from the place that he's trying to get to, fortuitously right into the path of the self-driving Tesla. So it's not so much that it's just faked. It's badly faked. All prefaced by the statement, the person in the driver's seat is only there for legal reasons. He's not doing anything. The car is driving itself. Meanwhile, the guy in charge of the Tesla full self-driving program says that a year after this faked video, full self-driving barely functioned.
Roughly 5 years at Tesla. When I joined, it barely kept lane on the highway. I think going up from Palo Alto to SF was like 3 or 4 interventions. Anytime the road would do anything geometrically or turn too much, it would just like not work.
And in the same year as the head of full self-driving said it could barely keep a lane, Musk was making these claims.
Or December of this year, we should be able to go from, all the way from a parking lot in California to a parking lot in New York, no controls touched at any point during the entire journey. And amazing.
But the 2015 interview did give an unintentional sick burn.
Almost, this may sound a little complacent, but I almost view it as like a solved problem. Like we know exactly what to do, and we'll be there in a few years.
Mm-hmm. Right. Just like Mars.
Yeah, the reason that's funny is because
SpaceX founder Elon Musk tweeted out Wednesday that he's hoping to land one of his capsules on the surface of Mars in May of 2018. That's
not that far away.
No, that's just a couple of months. Wow. All right.
Elon Musk's company has agreed a deal with NASA that will see it send its Dragon 2 capsule to the Red Planet. The mission is scheduled for 2018, just 2 years away.
That was back in the day when they were going to have a propulsive landing on the Dragon capsule, before deciding that actually, no, it's all just way too impractical, and the non-reusable Apollo-era technology was actually a much better way of doing things. Yeah, undeterred, Musk went on to claim that they weren't going to land just one Starship on Mars in 2022, that's last year, but 2 of them.
That's not a typo.
Yeah, meanwhile, what actually happened in 2022?
At this point, I think I know more about manufacturing than anyone currently alive on Earth.
And then in 2023, the Starship maiden flight was doomed after merely a minute, lost control after 2 minutes, and was an uncontrolled flying bomb for a further 2 minutes because the flight termination system failed to blow up the rocket.
What tends to happen is I'll make some best guess, and then people will, in 5 years, there'll be some jerk that writes an article. Elon said this would happen.
Like a Model S and Model X at this point can drive autonomously with greater safety than a person right now.
Yeah, that doesn't sound much like a prediction to me, Elon. That sounds like a fraudulent statement of fact. Why I should be even remotely surprised, I'm not quite sure, in that I've seen Musk stand up in front of an audience of people with some completely 100% fake products and try and convince them that these fake solar tiles are actually a real thing.
And it didn't happen. He's a liar and a fool. It's very annoying when that happens.
The convoy technology, the tracking technology, this is something that we are confident we can do today 10 times safer than a human driver. So I want to be clear, this is something we can do now.
Yeah, that's not a prediction, Elon. That's a claim that you can do something now.
We've made it possible to run comprehensive laboratory tests from a tiny sample or a few drops of blood.
Yeah, turns out none of that was true either. She's on her way to jail now for the best part of a decade.
will have a chain on the seats to prevent people from coming in just for the safety. I don't want someone to end up doing something and driving this truck off the stage. But this thing fully functions and works, which is really incredible.
No, the truck didn't work, and Milton has now been found guilty of selling Nikola stock pumped up on the vaporware, optimistic timelines. Oh, what was that word they used to describe it in court? Oh, that's right, fraud. And he's looking at years in jail for it. Musk sold 100 times the dollar value of Tesla stock that Milton sold of Nikola, pumped up on the vaporware optimistic timelines. Sorry, the blatantly fictitious claims. How Musk has evaded jail this long is kind of a head-scratcher.
1,000 people in our full self-driving beta program. So you can look at the videos that they post online.
I mean, what's the worst that can happen for testing a potentially fatal product on people?
But now, with the software update, you can actually make thousands of people drive safer just with a software update overnight.
Wow, that's actually,
yeah,
that's actually
okay, great. And
some of them are great, and some of them are a little terrifying. I mean, occasionally the car seems to sort of like veer off.
And before Elon Musk came up with the idea of blaming all of his previous claims on deepfakes, this was his justification for putting a flaky and unsafe AI in charge of a car and letting it drive around in public.
I mean, occasionally the car seems to sort of like veer off and scare the hell out of people. But
it's still better.
It's still better.
I mean, the jaw just drops at this. Like, enabling corporate manslaughter is fine if you just call your software a beta version. Or, you know, you could do something like not release software that may do the worst thing at the wrong time. Or maybe title it something a little more straightforward, just in case people were confused that their full self-driving software, which they'd paid $15,000 for, wasn't actually full self-driving software. Maybe if rather than calling it full self-driving beta, they title it something more accurate, like may do the worst thing at the wrong time driving. Might be more truthful and honest.
But the truth matters to me a lot. Sort of pathologically, it matters to me.
Avoid some confusion. Maybe save some lives. Yeah, move fast and break things doesn't go down so well when the thing that you're breaking is people's lives. Fake it till you make it really doesn't work out so well when it's more fake it till you kill people. Yeah, now I wonder why Elon Musk would be trying to avoid being deposed.
That Theranos currently offers more than 200 and is ramping up to offer more than 1,000 of the most commonly ordered blood diagnostic tests, all without the need for syringes. Was that statement correct?
I'm reading it now. I don't think it is.
And Musk's legal defense makes Elizabeth Holmes seem like an honest, straight shooter here. But Musk was the real-life Iron Man, right? People who are lauded as smart don't go to jail.
Elizabeth is getting the Horatio Alger Award. She is the youngest person to ever get the Horatio Alger Award, since the Horatio Alger Award was invented in 1947.
Well, okay, well, Elon's rich. Rich people don't go to jail.
The company that she started at 19 is valued at $9 billion. You own over 50% of it, right? Congratulations on that.
Overwhelming focus is solving full self-driving. So, yeah. And that's essential. And like that's really the difference between Tesla being worth a lot of money and being worth basically zero.
Forbes magazine has downgraded the net worth of Elizabeth Holmes from $4.5 billion to nothing.
Yeah, foreshadowing, Elon. Foreshadowing. You see, this is the thing. The only business that Musk has ever had that didn't run on burning capital but actually making and selling products is Tesla. The only one. Thing is that now real car companies are moving into the EV space, and they're actually good at making cars. Yeah, firstly because their CEOs aren't off making utterly delusional claims year after year, but are actually instead focused on things like, delivering products. whilst Tesla has just had a long list of delays. No, really, the Cybertruck will be one of the most popular vehicles ever. Dangling wires and this exciting modern interior all come for free. And that's today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, maybe drop a thumbs up on it. Maybe consider supporting this channel through Patreon if you really enjoyed the content. And as ever, thanks for watching.